Hi, it's Blizzard Productions here, and today I'll be predicting when every NFL team will win their next Super Bowl. I hope you guys enjoy it, and please remember to like and subscribe. Ready? Let's go. The Dallas Cowboys, 2025. The Dallas Cowboys have a very talented young roster that I believe can achieve a Super Bowl win. The only thing holding them back is their coaching. Mike McCarthy was a step up from Jason Garrett, but still, there's some room for improvement after going 6-10 last season. But there is no problem in the quarterback situation after Dak Prescott just signed a 4-year, $160 million contract extension with the Cowboys. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 2028. The Pittsburgh Steelers started off very good last season with a record of 11-0, but then after that lost 3 games in a row and went into playoffs with a 12-4 record. They were doomed on first snap of the playoff game against the Cleveland Browns and lost 48-37, and that was the end of their season. The Ben Roethlisberger era seems to be coming to an end, even though the Steelers signed him a 1-year, $14 million contract for the 2021 season. But the Steelers have a very successful coach named Mike Tomlin, and I think he will be able to win another Super Bowl with the next quarterback, whoever that might be. The Green Bay Packers, 2024. The Green Bay Packers have a very successful quarterback named Aaron Rodgers, who just won MVP last season with 48 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions and 4,299 yards. They almost beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26-31 in the conference championship, and I believe that Aaron Rodgers can bring the Packers to the Super Bowl and win one last time before his retirement. Arizona Cardinals, 2030. The Arizona Cardinals are a very complete team, and Kyler Murray is a very talented young quarterback who likes to move around in the pocket. The Cardinals finished the season at 8-8, but they are in a very tough division, the NFC West, with the 49ers, Seahawks, and Rams. But I believe they can do it. The New England Patriots, after 2025. New England Patriots have had a very successful last 20 years, but since Tom Brady just left to go to the Bucs, the Patriots are having a build-up season, and Cam Newton does not seem like the option that they should stay with, even though they just signed him for a 1-year, $14 million deal. He threw for a total of 8 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, and a total of 2,657 yards. But if Cam Newton does stay for longer than 1 year, who knows, maybe he'll deliver another Super Bowl win for the Patriots in the near future. The Philadelphia Eagles, after 2030. The Philadelphia Eagles just traded Carson Wentz to the Colts, and we saw a little sneak peek of Jalen Hurts last year, and he did a decent job, but he does not have the offensive weapons to use. The organization itself is just a mess. They just fired their head coach, Doug Peterson, after the 2020 season, and we will see how the new head coach, Nick Sirianni, does, but I think that Eagles will not be able to get out of their own way for a while. Sorry, Eagles fans. The Chicago Bears, 2027. The Chicago Bears have a very good defense, but the offense has nothing to show for it. The Bears quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, does not seem like a good fit for the Bears, and their head coach, Matt Nagy, is a very smart coach that I believe can go big if they can find a good fit for the quarterback position. The Washington football team, after 2030. The Washington football team went through lots last season with head coach Ron Rivera returning back to coaching after having cancer, and their quarterback, Alex Smith, being the comeback player of the year after a life-threatening injury in 2018. But it appears that Alex Smith will not play next year, and we saw in their last game versus the Buccaneers, Taylor Heineke, who threw 137 yards with 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions. He just signed a $4.75 million contract for 2 years with the Washington football team, but will he be good enough to stay after his contract is up? The Seattle Seahawks, before 2030. The Seattle Seahawks have a very talented roster and a very smart and quick-thinking quarterback named Russell Wilson, but there is a lot of things up in the air of whether Russell Wilson will stay with the Seahawks or not. Their head coach, Pete Carroll, is very smart and knows what he is doing, so I see a Super Bowl win for the Seahawks in the near future. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2022. Yes, 2022, as in the next upcoming season. Tom Brady has already said that he would like to play past 45 years old, and he just delivered the Buccaneers their second Super Bowl win in franchise history. And they have a lot of other stars such as Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski. I think their team is good enough so they can win the Super Bowl next season. Las Vegas Raiders, 2032. The Las Vegas Raiders have a very nice new stadium in Vegas, and the Raiders showed us that they can win. But their defense was a big problem after being ranked 26th in the league last season. And though they have a pretty accurate quarterback completing 64.4% of his passes and 170 touchdowns with 71 interceptions and 26,896 yards, but their offensive line ranked 24th last season, which is not good for Derek Carr, and I just do not see Derek Carr winning a Super Bowl for the Raiders before he retires or moves on. The Miami Dolphins, 2038. The Miami Dolphins quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick has said he would like to play next season with the Dolphins, but he was benched half the season last year, and their head coach Brian Flores said he's excited to work with Tua Tagovailoa, but whoever the quarterback is next year will have to be able to score lots of points because of the Dolphins defense, who ranked 22nd in the league last season, allowing 25.3 points per game. I just do not see the Dolphins, whoever their next quarterback is, being able to win the Super Bowl in the near future. The Cleveland Browns, before 2030. The Cleveland Browns have been known to be a historically bad team, but all that changed last year with their new head coach Kevin Stefanski, who led the Browns to 11-5 season. They went to the playoffs for their first time since 2002 and beat the Steelers 48-37, making it their first playoff win since 1994 when Bill Belichick was their head coach. I see a bright future ahead of the Cleveland Browns. The San Francisco 49ers, 2026. I am a huge 49ers fan, and it is hard for me to say that I'll need to wait another 5 years for them to win the Super Bowl. But I just do not see them winning in the next few years. Their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, took them to the Super Bowl in the 2019-2020 season and lost to the Kansas City Chiefs 20-31. He was hurt most of last season, and there was a lot of talk of whether he would go to the Patriots or stay with the Niners. But the Patriots just signed Cam Newton for another year, so it looks like Jimmy Garoppolo will stay. The Niners have very good offensive weapons such as George Kittle, Raheem Mostert, and Deebo Samuel. And they have very good defensive stars such as Nick Bosa and Dee Ford. But their defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh, moved after last season to be the head coach of the New York Jets. So we will see how the 49ers defense does this upcoming season. The Minnesota Vikings, 2033. The Minnesota Vikings finished their season 7-9, but Kirk Cousins ranked 9th for best quarterback of the 2020-2021 season, and that is good, but I do not think that him and the team are good enough to win a Super Bowl. I think that Kirk Cousins is not going to deliver a Super Bowl win for the Vikings before his end. I think that will have to be the next quarterback. The New York Giants, 2031. The New York Giants had a very bad season last year, finishing at 6-10, and were rooting for their rival team, the Philadelphia Eagles, to beat the Washington football team so the Giants could get into the playoffs. Their quarterback, Daniel Jones, is a very talented young quarterback, but he has no offensive weapons to throw to. I do not see a team that was relying on their rival team to bring them to the playoffs winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. The Buffalo Bills, before 2025. The Bills had a long stretch of not making it into the playoffs, but that ended last year when their quarterback, Josh Allen, brought them to the playoffs after a 13-3 season. And they were one win off from going to the Super Bowl when they were defeated by the Kansas City Chiefs, 38-24. I see a Super Bowl win for the Bills in the near future. The New Orleans Saints, 2029. Drew Brees just announced his retirement, and he had a very good last 14 years with the Saints. But now that Drew Brees retired, it looks like their quarterback will be Taysom Hill. But will he be good enough, or will the Saints trade him after next season? No matter who the quarterback, I believe that the New Orleans Saints will win the Super Bowl in 2029. The Los Angeles Chargers, before 2030. Justin Herbert showed us that he can play, and he won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he's 23 years old after having his birthday a couple days ago. So the Chargers can hold on to him for a while, but their offensive line ranked last place in the 2020-2021 season, making it so Justin Herbert could not feel comfortable in the pocket. And the Chargers finished their season with a record of 7-9, and 7 of those games they lost were by one score. They fired their head coach, Anthony Lynn, after the 2020 season. Their new coach is Brandon Staley, and we will see how he is. But I believe that as long as the Chargers hold on to Justin Herbert and upgrade their offensive line, they will win the Super Bowl sooner than later. The Baltimore Ravens, after 2030. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are a very talented team that are committed to the run game. But when it comes to the playoffs, they are a whole different team. They have a record of 1-3 in the playoffs since Lamar Jackson has been around. I think that Lamar Jackson is a very good quarterback, but I do not think that he can deliver a Super Bowl win for the Ravens. The Indianapolis Colts, 2034. The Indianapolis Colts just signed Carson Wentz, and I do not think that he will be that good, and the Colts will hold on to him for a while before they are done with how he is playing. Then I think the Colts will pick up someone from the draft, and the person will need to settle in for a couple years before they take the Colts for the Super Bowl and win. Sorry, Colts fans, I just don't see Carson Wentz winning you guys a Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams. Before 2030, the Los Angeles Rams traded their quarterback, Jared Goff, with the Detroit Lions for quarterback Matthew Stafford. I believe that Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback if he has the right offensive weapons, and I believe that the Rams have good offensive weapons, and their coach, Sean McVay, is a very good young coach who I believe can make the Rams win in the near future. The Detroit Lions, 2045. The Detroit Lions have been known to be a very unsuccessful franchise, and even though the Lions traded Matthew Stafford to the Rams in exchange for Jared Goff, I do not think that Jared Goff is going to be able to turn this franchise around and deliver a Super Bowl win to the Lions. And the next quarterback after, I do not think will deliver a Super Bowl win also. I'm sorry to break it to you, Lions fans. I think you'll need to wait another 24 years before you guys can win a Super Bowl. The New York Jets. After 2030, the New York Jets were awful last season with a record of 2-14, but after last season they fired their head coach Adam Gase and hired the 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. I think that he will be a very successful head coach. However, he needs to find good defensive and offensive players. The current Jets quarterback, Sam Darnold, might not come back next year, but their draft spot is very good with 2 first-round draft picks, so the Jets might be able to pick up some good players. But I do not think that the Jets will be able to make it into the Super Bowl and win until after 2030. The Houston Texans, 2041. The Houston Texans quarterback situation is a mess with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson has been asking since the season ended last year to be traded, and many teams had their eye on him. The organization itself is just a mess right now. They ranked 30th for run blocking last year, and their defense was ranked 19th. I just do not see a Super Bowl win in the near future, and I do not see the Texans organization turning around next year or anytime soon. Tennessee Titans. Before 2030, the Tennessee Titans and Ryan Tannehill had a pretty good year, ending the season with a record of 11-5. And though they lost to the Ravens in the AFC wildcard 2013, they proved that they can win. They also have Derrick Henry as their running back, who had a total of 2,027 rushing yards last season. The Kansas City Chiefs, 2023. The Kansas City Chiefs have had an outstanding quarterback named Patrick Mahomes, who has brought the Chiefs to the Super Bowl the last 2 years. The first being Super Bowl 54 between the Chiefs and the 49ers, in which the Chiefs won 31-20. And then Super Bowl 55, as in last season, in which they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-9. I think that they will make it to the playoffs, but not make it to the Super Bowl next year. But I think that they will go to the Super Bowl and win in 2023. The Carolina Panthers. After 2030, it seems as if the Carolina Panthers are moving on from Teddy Bridgewater after they are saying that they would pay anything for Deshaun Watson to be their quarterback. But last year, the Panthers ranked 18th for their offensive line, and the Panthers will have to find good offensive weapons and create a good offensive line if they want Deshaun Watson. But no matter who the quarterback, I don't think that the Panthers are going to win the Super Bowl in the next 10 years. The Cincinnati Bengals, 2035. The Cincinnati Bengals drafted Joe Burrow in the 2020 draft, and he showed that he can play, but he got injured, and that was the end of his season. He's expected to be back halfway through the 2021-2022 season, but are they going to be able to hold on to Joe Burrow, or is he going to want to be traded? I think that he's going to want to be traded, and the Bengals are going to need to find a new quarterback that fits. I just do not see the Bengals being able to find a winning team till 2035. The Atlanta Falcons, 2048. Matt Ryan playing with the Falcons seems to be coming to an end, and I do not believe that the Falcons are going to be able to find a winning team for a while. Falcons finished 4-12 last season, and their offensive line ranked 21st, and I do not see Matt Ryan delivering a Super Bowl win for the Falcons, and I do not see the quarterback after Matt Ryan bringing the Falcons to Super Bowl and winning either. The Denver Broncos. After 2040, the Denver Broncos have had trouble in their quarterback situation since Peyton Manning retired. They had no quarterback when they played against the Saints in Week 12 due to COVID tracing, and they had their practice squad wide receiver Kendall Hinton play as quarterback, and they lost 31-3. I just do not see the Broncos winning the Super Bowl until after 2040. Sorry. The Jacksonville Jaguars. After 2030, the Jacksonville Jaguars finished their season with the worst record in the NFL for the 2020-2021 season with a record of 1-15. And it does not appear like their quarterback Gardner Minshew is going to be with the Jaguars this upcoming season. With the Jaguars having the first pick of the 2021 NFL draft, it seems as if their new quarterback will be the Clemson Tigers quarterback Trevor Lawrence. After the 2020 season, the Jaguars fired their head coach Doug Morani and hired Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer to be their new head coach. But I do not think that Trevor Lawrence is going to settle into the NFL for a couple of seasons. And then I think that he will bring them to the playoffs and lose for a couple of seasons. Then I think he will go to the Super Bowl and win. That is my prediction. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. And then put in the comments if I got anything right or I got anything wrong. So thank you so much again for watching. And bye.